How do you provide the videos for your clients? I'm always curious because it normally takes actors and some storyline and everything. How do you put this together?
Sure. Video, being that our philosophy is really content production and inbound marketing, so we try to put people on camera who are like thought leaders. And usually it's the people actually, we don't necessarily have to hire actors or actresses for that. The people that our clients basically are like leaders in the industry. So they know their product, they know their information better than anyone else. And a lot of them are good right on camera if they talk specifically about their product and or their services. So they're never at a loss for words really that way, as far as providing the information and great educational content for their viewers and stuff like that. So if we need to go on a higher level, like a TV commercial or something like that, generally, yeah, maybe we'll hire actors and things like that too. But it really depends on the type of video production that we're doing. So usually it is just part of the whole marketing plan and these people getting on camera and providing the educational content about their product or service and things like that.
How do you get a client to perform on camera? How do you do this? Do you visit the clients and you record him, or is it through Skype calls like we do here? How does it work?
Generally, we go on site to visit the client and record it. If the client is out of our area or like beyond like 2 or 3 hours, then we can always, of course, go through Skype or some other type of computer event like that. Sometimes we can even get a client to record some video on their iPhone for a little bit of B-roll and stuff like that, and then record them through Skype and then incorporate that B-roll later into the footage and things like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. I had one client, we did the same thing for him, and we instructed him to do certain things, but it just wasn't really good content that he put out. Yeah,
generally that is a big concern. When people have no experience in front of the camera, it's not that easy actually. It's not really like talking to someone else face to face. You have this machine in front of your face, and all of a sudden they get stage fright or whatever, or they just are at a loss for words. So generally, I mean, we try to coast and, don't worry about the camera, just talk about your product or service, and generally it comes through on that. They get more relaxed and just focus on that specific product or their, service, and they're usually okay then. And if by chance, like we need to pull out a teleprompter and have them read a certain thing, we can always do that too. That's usually our backup plan. If we find out that it's not really working so well for them.
Yeah, thanks for that info already. These interviews are mostly about lead generation. This is what I want to focus on as well.
Okay.
So what is your mix of where do you get the leads from? Do you have some kind of priority list that you would go after, or like your current customer base, the percentages maybe roughly, or the mix where the leads come from? Could you give me an overview?
A lot of it is through online generation. The content that we produce, we try to convert these people into believers. So we'll put out some content pieces specifically for the type of people that we're trying to attract, and then everything's mostly through online. So they fill out a form, and then we get them into a funnel, and we keep sending them information down the line, be it maybe through emails or newsletters or something like that, and just try to eventually convert them into a customer. Because when people go online, they're probably searching for some type of problem. They have a problem, they need a solution to it, and hopefully they find our content. When they find our content, they'll read it. If they want more information, they fill out a form or download a white paper, and then eventually, when they're ready to buy, they have all this information in front of them, and they know how to make, that right choice then. They have done all the research, they have the content, and once they're ready to buy, then that's hopefully when they convert and, hire us. Now, some of it also, of course, referrals are a big part of the business too. So we do have a referral system. So we have a client. Then eventually, once they are a client for a year or two, we'll start pushing referrals as well.
Okay. Can you talk about the referral system a bit?
Sure, really. I mean, if you think about referrals, I mean, no one wants just to go out and give a referral just because they're nice people. Some of them might, but you actually have to kind of like coerce them. I wouldn't say coerce, but like push them a little bit to, maybe give a referral. And it's not only just asking for it, but it could be sending out a little card or something like that, or just a reminder of saying like, how important referrals are. We appreciate your business. If there's anyone else that you think that could benefit from our services, please let us know as well.
And you do this after how many years, times?
It really depends how the relationship with the client is and how comfortable we feel. It's a great relationship, then we usually 6 months to a year, or even sooner sometimes. It really depends on every client. Every client is different.
You have a CRM that you use with your team, or how do you keep track of them?
Right now, what we're using the HubSpot. So we're a HubSpot agency, and that's basically our CRM. So we, all the forms that are on our websites or our clients' websites, people fill those forms out, and that information goes right into the database, into the CRM. From there, we can take that information and begin email campaigns, begin newsletters, and start sending them out additional information and things like that.
Yeah, I see you have the 10-point checklist to videos.
Yeah. Yes.
What happens after someone downloads it?
Then usually that's the beginning of the funnel. We have basically 3 phases of a funnel: the awareness stage, the consideration stage, where they're actually considering making the purchasing decision, and then the actual purchasing or the decision phase. So once they're in the awareness phase, they're really just gathering that information. And then in the consideration phase, they're almost ready to make that decision. So they have that information. Then once they're ready to make that decision, that's when we try to convert them and bring all that information together.
Do you call them at any point?
We may, and again, it depends on the situation. We generally do like to call them just because, there's a lot of information out there that we need, and they probably have a lot of other information that they're seeking. So yes, a phone call is absolutely necessary at some point.
Do you do any outbound sales?
Outbound, I would say very little. We have tried some direct mail for certain clients and certain services that may work. Cold calling, we absolutely do not ever do that. We just found that not only for ourselves it doesn't work, but mainly for our other clients and customers it doesn't really work. And especially here in the States, I know that people are sick of getting cold calls. There's a do not call list that you can get yourself on now, but we hear it all the time that people are just sick of getting these cold calls from people. And then we've even talked to a lot of people who have tried it and just said that the return on the investment just isn't there, and it really doesn't work anymore.
What is your ideal target group? Is that companies who are not doing video yet, or who are doing video but not good enough, or
both? A lot of people are looking for video. I mean, they see it on Facebook, they see it on YouTube, they know they should be doing it, but like the technology, they're just not adverse to it yet. And some of them might have tried it already, but then getting into it, they really don't know what's involved. I mean, it's a huge time investment. Not only do you got to know a little bit about the technology too, as far as just cameras and editing and things like that, but then marketing the videos as well, putting it online, where to put it, what to go after, what keywords and things like that. So it's really a combination of both people who have no idea about video and then people who have tried video but have found that they need help with it.
Okay. Do you have a niche where you go to, like any kind of customer industry that you're focusing on?
We focus really on industrial distribution companies, and right now we have a big thing with tree companies in the U.S. Tree service companies is one of our main client base that we go after. So we can really go all over the United States with the tree companies, our system that we have. But mainly we go for electrical distribution companies, industrial companies, and things like that are looking to produce video, looking to produce content, and need help with that.
Yeah, I see it's on your website, like the background.
Mm-hmm.
What is a tree company?
Okay, tree companies are really like, especially in the Northeast of the United States, it's very green, a lot of deciduous and coniferous trees. So people have them in their yards. They're hanging over the streets. Mm-hmm. The trees die, storms come. So tree service companies really go out, either cut the trees down, trim the trees back, and stuff like that. If God forbid one falls on your house or your car or something like that, a lot of it is preventive maintenance for some. But then, again, just have a 200-year-old tree in your backyard that's like dying. You don't want it to fall on your house. It's time to cut it down. And they said it's just it's an all-year thing that companies service these trees, and in different parts of the United States, Northeast, the Northwest, and things like that. There's always a little bit more trees than in the Southwest, but they're always able to, go out, cut these trees, maintain them, and things like that. And a lot of the services don't just revolve around trees, and depending where they are, some of it's like landscaping services too, and snow plowing and other things like that they get into. So,
got it. I see on your about section 3 people on your team. Are there more, or who's writing?
I'm sorry?
Who's writing the content for your clients?
Who's writing the content? Sometimes it's us that we do a lot of the writing, but we also work with a team of other writers. We have basically three full-time people that coordinate this stuff, and we work with, like, be it freelancers or part-time people that we bring in specifically for projects and things like that.
That makes sense. Yeah, much more agile than if you
exactly. Yeah,
hire them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
interesting.
So if you're not a writer, it's obvious, it's very time consuming, and there's a lot of things involved. So if you hire like a writer, they have experience in it, and they can usually do it a lot quicker and write for specific keywords and things like that.
Yeah, of course. Great. Now we're going through very fast, so we're pretty good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you're really on point. Like, every question so informed and detailed. I like it. What is a question I should ask you that I didn't?
I think like a lot of the video, like, I don't know how it is in Europe or across the world, but like maybe you can add, like, how are people using video where you are? I mean, is it a big deal? Do you see a trend going on there as well?
In Europe, normally everything is starting with a lag to America.
Okay.
But normally the same things happen. So we see, like, we have a German case in Eichstätt, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and stuff like that. So it's kind of predictable. Yeah. What did not happen was the podcasting. That is a bit interesting. So Germans listen to American podcasts, actually.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not talking about Asia. This is like a total different thing. Like total different world here. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The whole new trend kind of that's big in the States right now is like the live video. Facebook does live video, and there's a lot of tools out there to do live streaming, and that's really something that we're starting to experiment with as far as getting live video, rather than going out and like shooting and posting the videos or doing post-production on them. We just can take out, basically we carry like a little switcher or a broadcast switcher in our computer now, and we can set up like 2 or 3 webcams and just go out on site and shoot these videos live and switch them there, switch between cameras, add graphics, add the information, and that live video can go right out to Facebook and or stream it out to, other sources basically.
Yeah, that's where it's going.
Yeah. And I think, one thing to touch about video is that, like, it's one thing to be able to produce quality video, but then once you have that video, what do you do with it? You know, I think that's where a lot of people start to struggle as well. They might invest all this money into making 1 or 2 videos, and then they just don't know where to put it or what's the best use of it. So we really help them with like marketing the video too, and distributing it and broadcasting it throughout, you know, different channels and different networks and things like that too.
Yeah, promotion is half of the game, right?
Yes, absolutely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of good information. I like how you specialize on this target group and on the on the video marketing. I think that's really the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that was always our differentiator. You know, there's so many different agencies out there, and, you know, a lot of them do the same thing. But really, when we started our agency, we knew going in that video was going to be the future, and we really concentrated on video. And my background is in broadcast TV, so like I brought that experience to it, and I was able to, you know, start producing video for our clients right away. And that's really our huge differentiator. You know, the way that we can produce video, the efficiency at which we can produce video, and quite honestly, the way that we can market the videos once we produce it is really our game.
Who's editing your videos?
Generally, right now, I do a lot of the editing, and we also work with like other people. We bring in some interns sometimes from local universities, and we get them up to speed editing. Some of the universities actually have like broadcast/TV video programs, and we get some interns from them that help us out sometimes. But a lot of the times, it's just me doing it, and you know, generally with the video, I'm been doing it for 20 years and have been in the technology, so I've got it down where I'm pretty efficient at it, and I know how to, you know, edit down, and I have a formula that we can pretty much crank it out and do it very quickly and do a quality job at it. So,
what is the best video that you ever produced? Can you send me a link? Or even recent?
I can send you. Sure, I can send you a couple links. I think a lot of it is well, there's different ones that, you know, there's ones that I feel are more fun, I guess, if you will, to work on and things like that. So I always like just putting some things to music. For example, like a tree service company that we work with here in the Philadelphia area, they have a lot of equipment, cranes, stump grinders, things like that. So it's very expensive, very dangerous equipment that they're working with. And, you know, people, when they go into a home and the homeowner says, I want to know how you're going to cut this tree down, they can whip out their iPad and they can actually show them, like, I'm going to bring this crane in, or I'm going to bring this piece of equipment in, and this is specifically how we're going to do this in your yard, or this is how we're going to take this tree down. Yeah. So it's producing content like that, I think, is you know, that actually shows the power of video, and it helps them. So I will send you a link or two of just some of the fun stuff that I think we did.
Yeah, that's also really nice.
Yeah.
And last question: do you know another agency business owner, ideally 5 or more employees, who I should talk to?
Off the top of my head, no, but I can. I know 1 or 2 of them that I could probably refer you to
great.
Talk to. Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to have more interviews like this. That's really valuable.